So, could you please share with me what your understanding is about social media marketing?
Uh, okay. Sorry. Well, I got to see that social media marketing is the use of social media to build a company's brand, increase sales, and like drive website traffic and all. It used to like use is for using social media to build social networks and share information.
How familiar are you to social media on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm very familiar, very thin man.
You're very familiar. All right.
Yeah.
What social media platforms do you currently use?
I use WhatsApp, I use Facebook, I use Instagram, I use Twitter.
Okay, that's good. So today we are going to look at basic introduction of social media marketing, which is going to be beyond sharing memes and all of those things we are familiar with. Okay. Awesome. I'm going to be sharing my screen, and this is going to be a practical class. Whenever you are, I hope you already have your account ready because I mentioned that you have to. At the end of the class, we'll
Yes,
be
yeah,
going to. Okay, yeah, please go ahead.
I have my account ready, man. But please,
Awesome.
the LinkedIn account, when I was trying to open it, I don't know if I was maybe supposed to use students or some other thing. But they asked me if I'm a student or not. So I just waited just to ask you.
You choose the option that applies to you. If you are a
Like I
student,
go
you
to
say so.
students.
If you're looking for work, I think it's just to customize your experience. It really doesn't have any effects in creating it. Do you
Okay, man, okay,
understand?
man, no problem. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. So let's look at social media marketing. What really is social media marketing? Without social media, would there be social media marketing? Absolutely no. So basically, like you've mentioned earlier, social media is where you interact with people, where you network, and if you're looking into marketing, then that's where you get to build your brand or accompanying what's it called um, social presence, so to say. So social media is beyond chatting with people. Social media is beyond looking for funny videos to laugh. Social media is now what people are now used to build a career. Okay, so what we are training you for this particular thing is for you to become a social media marketer, social media expert, social media strategist, social media manager, whichever term you decide to use in future. Still doesn't It's still all are under social media marketing. Okay, so let's look at social media strategy. Let's look at auditing, content calendar, and content strategy. So I'm going to share my screen shortly to show you audit. What really do you need to look at to audit a social media? We're going to be starting with Instagram. We're going to start with Instagram. So I'll need you to take notes of this. You're going to take notes of some key points, either by writing them down. Well, it's going to be by writing them down, most especially, not words for words, but based on what you understand. And while we are speaking, please put your questions in a part, because at the end of the class you are going to be asking questions which is going to be based on the class, so that you don't forget. Make sure you also have a separate book or separate tab where you're writing questions based on what we are doing so far. So let's look at social media audits. When you want to build a social media account, starting with Instagram, Facebook, or any other social media platforms, the audits work almost the same way. So the question you will most likely ask yourself is that, what do I want to achieve with social media? What is my aim of social media? Am I looking to create awareness as a brand? Am I looking for sales? Am I looking to network, build my build a community? So you need to understand what objective is. What's your objective of you creating the social media account or building the social media account? You really need to understand the objective. So let's say, for instance, we are going to look at the Sugary Growth account, and we're going to be using uh, the company's account, the organization account, every time, just so that you can go back to it and look at them and to better understand. So the when we were setting up Sugary Growth accounts, our main purpose is to get customers. So can you see that? That's the objective. The primary objective is to get customers. So that objective then helps us to know how we should set up our social media accounts. So you would see, we'll start with the username. Okay, so the username, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Can you hear me? Can you see my screen? Michael, can
Yes,
you
ma'am.
hear me? Can you see my screen?
I say yes, ma'am. I can hear you, ma'am. I can see your screen.
Awesome. I hope you got the part where I was talking about having to understand the objective and the purpose of setting up a social media account. Did you get that?
Yes, ma'am. I got it.
Awesome,
Yes, ma'am.
awesome. So the moment you decide what the objective are, and the popular objectives was what I have mentioned so far, which is brand awareness. That is, you want more people to find out about your brand, your organization, your company, or even you yourself, if it is a personal brand. Or you're looking at building a community. That means you want to have a community of people, maybe those people you want to share resources with them, or you just want to connect. However thing you decide to do with that community depends on you. Or you're looking at sales. That is, you're looking at turning those users into paying customers or clients. Okay, so when you decide that, then you have to then set up your account. But whichever organization, company, or individual you're creating a social media account for must have already have a name. But if they don't have a brand name, make sure the brand name is not far from the overall um, mission, vision, and goals of the company. So look at our username, the Sugary Growth. This is the company name. The company name is the Sugary Growth, and sometimes we just call it Sugary Growth or TSG. Now, what is the idea behind this username? The idea is that anybody who comes across our platform, anybody who comes across our company, anybody who have a relationship with our company would experience sweet growth. That is the concept, that is the idea. This is different if it is an individual account. For instance, let's say an individual account, Michael Fezuko, that is an individual account. That kind of thing, now you have to use your name, Michael Fezuko. You cannot use Fine Boy Michael. You cannot use Most Handsome Michael. You cannot use World Famous Michael. That is not professional. So while you're also settling, I hope you're taking note of all of these things. While you're settling
Yes,
for
ma'am.
what username to use, ensure you have professionalism in mind. You have to understand that people who want to buy from you want to see that professionalism. They don't want you to come across as though as you are unserious. Okay, so that is the idea behind username. So if you're creating a username, a client comes to you to say, okay, hi Michael, I need you to I just started a business and I have no idea of how to use social media. I need to reach customers there. I know my customers are there. you have to first of all audit. What is your business name? What is the goal? What is the company objective, and all of those things. Then you say, okay, do you have a business name? And they say, oh, I don't think I've thought of a business name. So okay, so what is your business about? I sell hair accessories. Awesome. So can we say maybe Lagos hair accessories? That is if that company is located in Lagos. Or Abuja hair accessories if that company is in Abuja. But if you're not location specific, then you don't have to use location. So you could just say Temi hair accessories or everything hair accessories. So can you see the whole idea? So that when people come across your username, they understand what you do. Honestly, when you hear of the sugary growth, you may not understand what sugary growth is about, but you would think of sugar, you would think of growth. So maybe you then want to ask, who is sugary growth? That is where the social media platform comes in. Anybody who goes to sugary growth website or any of the social media platforms, we understand what we do. And by the time they see the name, they're like, oh, okay, I understand. So recently we onboarded a client in July, this month, just earlier this week. And the guy was like, oh, I like your username. I like your company name, Sugary Growth. So you're telling me that I'm going to experience sweet growth in my company. Well, absolutely, that's the idea. The idea is that you experience growth. Okay, so your username must not be scattered. You know, you are some people would have Michael Fezuku 1234. Why are you putting 1234? Is that really necessary? So other usernames you may settle for maybe Michael underscore Afezuku, Michael dot Afezuku, Michael Afezuku underscore. You know, something like that in that part. But it must show your name. It must show your name. Okay, so now the next part is the overall name. So if you come to your profile, don't worry, the interface may be different on phone and computer, but they are literally the same thing. If you understand everything that will be taught in this class, to implement in whatever device you're using is not going to be a problem. But if by any means you encounter any problem, feel free to ask questions on the group chat. Okay, so now if you look at this just by the username, the Sugary Growth, you would see that the next part is best social media agency. Now that is where another strategy comes in respect to being seen. So people see that the Sugary Growth, they don't know what Sugary Growth is, right? This name right here, I'm going to click on edit profile so that you would better understand how this came about. Okay, I think this is totally different. Okay, so let's see. It's supposed to show us where to change the name, but apparently computer doesn't have that. So I need you to, okay, I'm going to join the call with my phone so that I would show you that. Okay, please confirm that you can see my mobile, what's it called?
Yes, ma, I can see it, ma.
My mobile screen. Awesome. So I just wanted to show you that part so that while you're setting up your own account, while you're doing some auditing, so this applies to whether you have an existing account or you're creating a new account. Whatever you want to do, this is what you must do. Okay, so now look at that part, the username, right? Then best social media agency, this is how it comes about. The name, the idea of the name is to better understand what we do, not just understand what you do. There's something called SEO. You can look at that later on after the class, but don't worry, we're going to touch on it later in the training. But basically, SEO is search engine optimization. And the idea of search engine optimization is the keyword. For instance, when you go to Google and you search, say, what was it called? Let's say, okay, you search social media agency. That is a keyword. And if what's it called, a website as social media agency as keyword on their profile, on their website, they will pop up. If you search restaurant near me, if that website has restaurants near me, on their website they will pop up restaurants in Ojo, Lagos. If that restaurant website has restaurants in Ojo, Lagos, on their website it will pop up. So this may be a bit confusing, but don't worry, you better understand. So what I'm saying is that the part where you add your name for your Instagram or any other social media platforms must have what you do. The Sugary Growth, best social media agency. If anybody goes to Instagram and search social media agency now, our page is likely going to pop up. Why? Because we have the keywords there. Unlike if you just have Sugary Growth, the Sugary Growth, nobody knows who Sugary Growth is. Nobody knows what we do. Nobody understands our niche. But with this keyword, we have then narrowed down our name to find our audience. I hope you understand the concept.
Yes, ma'am. Understanding, ma'am.
So this is where you put it. So let's say you have your username as Michael Afezuku. Then you want to change your name to, maybe you want to say, okay, social media strategies. Let me show you a sample from my own Instagram account. Now look at my account, Temi_Ajao. I should have used Temi Ajao, but because Temi Ajao is not available, I had to use Temi_Ajao. I didn't use sexy Temi, fine Temi, most beautiful Temi. You know, all of those things are irrelevant. I just use my first and my last name. But you would say that after my username, I have Temi Ajao, social media strategy, UGC creator. This is because nobody knows who Temi Ajao is, so honestly, except maybe my close friends and my family members. Awesome. But the people I'm looking for don't know my name. So my name at this instance do not really count. So the moment I have social media strategy in the name part, means that when they search social media strategies on what's it called, on Instagram, I am likely to pop up. In fact, now Instagram searches are now showing on Google. If you search social media strategies on Google now, you will now start seeing some Instagram accounts and LinkedIn accounts, as well as Twitter and other social media platforms. Because now the optimization now work across all internet access platforms. Okay, so now we are going to move from the username. Awesome. We're going to move from the username to the other part now. I need to share my screen again. I am no longer presenting. Okay. Please confirm that you can still see my screen.
Yes, ma'am. I can still see your screen.
Okay, awesome. So let's come back to the bio. We've talked about the username, we've talked about the overall name. So you can see that the name we have on Sugar Growth is different from the name we have in Temi Ajao. So depending on what the brand is about is what the auditing and whatever you settle for would look like. Okay, so I know by the time we are done with this class, you're going to have an assignment on how you are going to recreate whatever strategy we spoke about here in your own account. Okay, you will have to
Okay.
replicate in your own account, so you make sure that you are taking notes. And when you're asking questions, I don't expect you to ask a repetitive question, but maybe rather for clarification. Okay, so I don't expect you to ask me how do I add a username. I don't expect you to ask me how do I put my name. Maybe I expect you to ask me like, okay, what do you think I should add as my name, not how to add your name. Okay, so now let's look at other form of the audit. So the reason we may not have so much to audit, edit, or take away from here is because this is a perfect account. So we are going to look for another account that is not perfect, and we are going to audit it so that you better understand. So after the name, you can see the part where it says digital creator. This part is just a category. When you are setting up a professional account, I believe you know how to set up a professional account. Do you?
Yes, ma, I know how to.
Okay, if you don't worry. I have a recorded class. I can always give you access to that, and you would just watch it to better understand. Okay, so look at this. The buyer says, helping you get the visibility your business deserves. The Sugary Growth, the best social media agency. Now we are telling you that we can give you the visibility your business deserves. We are furthering making the prospective customers, the prospective trainees, the prospective clients to understand what we do and how we can help them. Now let me switch to Temi Ajao profile. Awesome. So why am I not seeing Temi Ajao? What's wrong? Oh, okay. Okay, so look at Temi Ajao. This is a personal profile. Sugar Growth is a business profile. Okay, so you would see that Temi Ajao is a social media strategist. She's a UGC creator. UGC means user generated content creator. Please take note of that what's it called term, because you are going to need it. At the end of the day, as a social media strategist, you are a creator, because people need to see what you can offer them, and you must show them through your contents. Okay, so you can see that I also have digital creator as my category here because I'm a digital creator. Other things that apply to me could be maybe entrepreneur. Okay, but I prefer digital creator because digital creator is broad. All right, so you can see that on my bio I have Facebook, Instagram as experts. Remember, on Sugary Growth account you have what? Helping you get all the visibility your business deserves. Okay, but right here on my personal account I'm saying I am a Facebook and Instagram as expert. That means if anyone is looking to run adverts on Instagram and Facebook, I am their go-to plug. The second one says I fix Facebook ad account issues. That is, if that person is having ad account issues, I am their go-to. Then finally, I want people to know that I am not just all of these things, but I'm also building a page. I'm building a company. So you can see building the Sugary Growth. All of this applies to me. So in essence, your bio must show who you are, what you can do. So who am I? I'm a social media strategist. Who is Sugary Growth? Sugary Growth is a social media agency. What can I do? We can give you the visibility your business deserves. That is what Sugary Growth can do. But what can Temitope Ajao do? Temitope Ajao can help you with your Facebook and Instagram ads. She can help you fix your ad account. So the question is, who is Michael Afezuko? What can Michael Afezuko do? Who is Lagos air accessory vendor? Who is Lagos Air Accessories? What does Lagos Hair Accessory sells? Where can we find her? So you would see that I have a list of everything I can do, and I say, okay, let's collaborate. I am very happy to collaborate with you, either by helping you get things done or by doing things together. And I said, finally, send me a DM. That is how I want them to reach me. If I want them to reach me from a call, I will say, call, then put a number to call. If I want them to send me an email, I'm going to say, send me an email, let's chat. Do you understand? So depending on how you want them to reach you is very, very important. On Sugary Growth account, for instance, you would see that Sugary Growth account has visit our website. Our website has been designed to help you reach your social media marketing goals. Click. We are asking you to click our social media, our website. So you can see the difference here. You can
Yes,
see the
ma'am.
difference. Okay. So
Yes, ma'am.
now let's look at other things. You can see links here. These links are clickable. You would see some people, I hope will be able to find accounts like that. You see some people would add their website on their bio. No, you don't do that. Don't add your website to your bio. That is not where it is meant to be. This is the space for your bio. Whatever you put here will not be clickable. There's a space for link, which is not here on the desktop. Okay, it's right here, but you can't edit it here on desktop. So if you look at your mobile, you would see the part with link, and you can add up to 5 links. Okay, so let me join with my mobile phone, and let's look at other things you need to add up on your account. Like I said, this is going to be a practical class, so ensure that you're not just taking notes. Ensure that you are understanding everything and you're jotting down every question that you have. So I'm sharing my mobile phone screen now. And we are going to look at some of other things you should do. Can you still see my screen? The mobile phone screen?
Yes, ma'am. I can see it.
Awesome. So now let's look at those links I talked about. Look at them. There are about 5 links here, and this is how you can add them. So you can see the space for bio, then the space for link. And not only can you put your link, you can also reorder the link. When you click on these 3 icons and you click on reorder, then you can reorder the link. Okay, now let's look at other things you should add in your bio. You must add a contact option. So my contact option besides sending me a DM is email. So for instance, some people want to collaborate, but they don't want to send you a DM. They just want to send you a professional email. Go ahead and do so. But as a business, let's look at Sugary Growth, for instance. Although we recently removed our contacts, we recently removed WhatsApp. But as a business which that have a WhatsApp business account and they want people to reach them from WhatsApp, you have to add the contact there. Okay, so we don't have a part for phone, call or text, just email address and WhatsApp, because that is what we want. Okay, and you can also have that while you are setting up your page. And even after you've set up your page, you need to do that. Just feel free to go to edit profile, contact option, and you can go ahead to choose what you want. You can add a WhatsApp number, and you can also add the phone number if you want. If you want. Okay, now let's look at other things. You would see that this account, Temi Ajao, clearly shows my picture. So, for instance, you should never use an anonymous character on your bio except if want to have an anonymous account. There are some people that maybe because of security purpose, or maybe they are just not like, I don't think I want to have my face out there. That is okay. At that instance, you can have maybe a cartoon character of your image, just your name, or anything that just presents your brand generally. For Sugary Growth, you would see that we have our logo as our profile picture. You can never see my face or any other team members as a profile picture, because that is not what you are trying to sell. We are a brand, we are a company, and we have to show that logo. So while you are also auditing for Lagos Air Accessories, for instance, you must ensure that Lagos Air Accessories have a logo. And that is where the creative designing comes in. If your clients do not have budget for graphics, or maybe you just want to create a social media account for them and they'll go ahead to manage it, you can just go to Canva and go and create a logo for them. Alternatively, you can work alongside a graphic designer to create that logo. So as a social media strategist, you're not a graphic designer, but you must have a knowledge of graphic designing. It's very, very important. And for you to have that knowledge, Canva is one platform that is very easy to use. Okay? So
Yes, ma'am.
now let's look at other things your bio must have. Profile picture clearly shown. Then your highlights, you must set up your highlights. And how do you set up your highlights? To set up an Instagram highlights, you must have already shared a post to your story. And once you share a post to your story, all you have to do is to just click on the post and add it as highlights. So let us use this as a sample. New. So you put the highlights in. Let's say we want to name this tests, and next. On your mobile phone, it will not bring the name first, it will bring your story first. So you can just pick a story that has to do with the highlights. Okay, we'll go back to that part to explain it better. You pick that, and once you're done picking everything that applies to that, you click on next. And then the cover, you may not be able to set, let's say, cover here, but if you go to your mobile phone to set up the highlights, it will ask you to choose a cover. While we are going to, during the Canva what's it called class, you are going to also learn how to create simple logo and how to create Instagram highlights cover. Okay, so now let's click on done. Can you see that? Can you see that what we just added is now showing on the highlights? So look at this.
Yes,
This part that says clients. When it shows clients, that means you want people or your prospective customers to see the clients you have worked with. So you're going to add every story that is related to your clients. So clients 1, pay this box. This is another client. This is another client. So people need you, it means you're showing them what you've done before. This is another client. Okay, so it has to be clients. Now let's look at tutorials. Tutorials means that series of tutorials you must have posted and shared to your Instagram story. Now this is a tutorial. This is another tutorial. This is another tutorial. This is another tutorial. So like that, like that, like that. So you have to customize your highlights cover based on your, what's it called, on what you want your customers to see. But one thing you will notice about all of this thing is branding. There is a color that is prominent here. Which color is prominent on this bio?
The white and is it pink orange?
Awesome. That is branding. That is branding. Now, there's something that happens with branding. When you come across, let's say, an MTN product, you would have already noticed it's MTN because of what? Because of the yellow. If you come across Airtel product, for instance, you know that it is Airtel because of the red. When you come across Glow or Nine Mobile, you can see that Nine Mobile and Glow use the same green. But when you come across Nine Mobile products, the green is different from Glow green. Branding would, as we progress in the training, we'll talk more about branding. So basically, branding is what helps people to remember you. What kind of brand are you? Look at what I'm wearing here. I'm wearing a shirt with the Sugar Growth written on it, right? That is branding. I want people to know me with Sugar Growth. I know when they think of Temi Ajao, they think of Sugar Growth. On my bio, I have Sugar Growth again. Because when they think of Temi Ajao, I want them to think of Sugar Growth. That is my brand. That is what I'm trying to grow. Okay? Now, branding. Branding also must show on your posts. You can see this post, content creation starter pack. Basic tools you need to get started and their prices. Branding. My brand is about content creation and social media. And this absolutely shows it. And you can also see my choice of color as both the orange and the white. Now look at this one. Me at 2 a.m. trying to figure out what type of post I can post to attract new followers. White, blue. The post also is still talking about social media. Branding. Branding. Okay. Now let's look at our next part, which is going to be content strategy. How did I come up with all this content? Did I just wake up and say, oh, let me go and look for one thing, let me just post? Content strategy. Your content must be related to your brand. It must be related to the company's value. It must be related to the organization's value. That is where content strategy comes in. I'm going to share a document with you now. Look at this document. Can you see the document?
Yes, ma'am.
What does the document says?
Branding strategy for magical adventures of Mona and Noah. Marketing strategy.
Awesome. You cannot start posting on a social media account without having your content strategy set. So when you look at this outline, the outline says social media marketing strategy, auditing, content strategy, and content calendar. We've talked about auditing. Okay, then before we even go to content strategy, let's look at another page. Let's look at let's randomly look for a page. Let's see let me see a page. Which page? I want to look for a page that does not have so much on their accounts. Let me see a vendor. Let me not use a. Let me use another thing. Let's see. Give me a sample brands. Let's look for something like that and audit that page. Okay, give me your own social media account. What's your username on Instagram?
On Instagram, okay. Michael.
Okay. Okay, I'm listening. Just Michael. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Michael? Can you hear me, Michael? Michael, can you hear me? Okay, welcome back. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Michael? Can you unmute?
Yes, ma. I can hear you, ma. Sorry about that. It was my network.
No problem. Can you still see my screen?
Yes, ma. I can see.
Okay, so I will allow you to do a sample audit at the end of the class and submit to me before Monday so that I'll know if you understand all of these things. I'll let you do another audit, but no, I don't want to do that. We don't have so much time left. Now, as I was saying, I said while you were setting up that client's account, while you're setting up their social media accounts, know that you have to create a content strategy for them. That content strategy has to be in line to what they do. Now look at this what's it called? This is supposed to be branding and marketing strategy, not just marketing strategy. It's supposed to be branding and marketing strategy. By the way, this was created by one of our social media managers. Okay, so now the idea is that before we start working on any client's account, we must understand what they do, who they are, and then we're going to create a strategy for them to help them reach their goal. Do not forget the goals we talked about: brand awareness, sales, community building. Now look at this. This is a new account. This is a new brand that have never had a social media account. Right? So how do we introduce this account to the public? We then came up with a strategy. The first one is the pre-launch phase. I says share illustrations, short excerpts, and character introductions on social media, blah 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 blah. Then launch phase. Okay, pre-launch means we are yet to tell them what exactly we are introducing to them, but we are building anticipation. I'm going to show you multiple content strategy so that you know that all content strategy are not the same. Content strategy are based on the situation of the account or the brand or what they want to achieve. Okay, so now let's look at launch phase. Launch phase says run sponsored ads, host live reading, coordinate simultaneous posts, distribute a press release, share photos and videos, encourage followers to share their own posts. Post launch phase, regularly share posts. The reason you are seeing launch, pre-launch, post-launch is because this brand has never been on social media. It's their first time. They are just coming to the public. And we cannot just wake up and dump content on people. We must put them through a phase. Do you understand? They must go through a phase. Now, After they must have gone through this phase, or while they are going through this phase, this is the content strategy. Now I need you to put this thing down. Put it down. When you are creating your content strategy for any brand, you must have 5 things in mind. Are you ready? Can I go ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
The first thing is that your content must be inspiring or motivational. Number one, whatever content strategy you're creating, that number one, the content must be inspiring or motivational. Number two, the content must be educational. That is, it must teach your audience something which must be related to your brand or product you are selling or the service you are rendering. Number three, the content must have promotional, and what's it called? It must be promotional in the aspect that part of the strategy you're going to be creating must tell us something about a product owned by the brand or service. Don't worry, we're going to build on that content pillars. Yeah, they are called content pillars actually. So what you're writing down right now is content pillars. The first one, motivational or inspirational. The second one is educational. The third one is promotional. The fourth one is that content must be engaging. So what is content that is engaging? For instance, content like okay, now let's go back to okay, no, let me just list it before I start explaining again. The content must be engaging. Then finally, number 5, the content must be entertaining. So if you're creating a content strategy, if you're creating a content calendar, these 5 pillars must show in this content strategy and content calendar. So the first one, which I said is motivational and inspirational. The first one I said, which is going to be motivational or inspirational.
Inspiration.
Yes. Those contents include quotes, that is inspirational quotes from maybe popular authors, popular speakers, popular leaders in that niche. Okay. Your content,
Yes,
your content must be inspiring. You can, for that inspiration, you can bring in storytelling. You can tell us how somebody did not have something, but because they came across your page, or maybe because they used your product, they are able to get that thing done. Now that content is going to inspire that audience to say, oh, okay, this is inspiring, I think I can reach out to these people. Secondly, educational in the sense that you must, it could be tutorials, it could be maybe how to do something, how to revamp your hair. That if it is about a vendor. If it is about logistics company, for instance, it can be how to maintain, how to keep your package safe. Educators, tell us about this thing, because people want to know. People want to keep their package safe. So anybody who comes across that content will definitely find it useful. Tutorials, you can show us how you can maybe let's say for another niche, let's say awareness product, for instance. It can be how to maybe how to eradicate insomnia. So how to eradicate insomnia could be maybe you give them tips, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this, and no. At the end of the day, you can then bring in the product to say, okay, this drug or this tea or whatever would also help you to cure insomnia. Educational. Promotional is specific. It is about the product you sell, about the service you render. So, for instance, in Sugary Growth, if you are to create a promotional content, that promotional content will be that, um, are you in need of social media managers? Are you looking to grow your social media platform? Sugary Growth will do that for you. Send us a DM to for free consultation. That is promotional. We are talking directly about our service. Okay, now engaging. The content must be engaging. What does it mean for a content to be engaging? Now let me give you a sample. Look at this post right here. The post says you can only pick one. There's an actual poll in this, but I'm not sure you'll be able to see because this is computer. But if you go to your phone, you should be able to see a poll. This particular content is engaging. It means I want people to perform a particular action. It is bringing out a response. So it says you can only pick one. Instagram gives you direct easy access to their support team, get 1 million followers in a day, get free Instagram sponsored ads, da 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 da. Now you can see that there's a response here. Somebody said not too stingy, but I want all. If you go to the poll, for instance, if you go to the poll, let me see if I can share. Okay, let me come and share my screen right here. So if you look at the other screen here, you would see that you see the voting here. This is the poll. I want people to choose something from this poll. So the first one, number one, number two, number three. So whichever they want to do, they will end up picking that number. So let's say they want to pick number 3. You can see the percentage of people that choose what.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And you can see
Yes, ma'am.
the comment. Now, this is an engaging content. Although, of course, there are other content that are somewhat engaging. For this one now, content creation starter pack. This is an educational post. Okay, this is it is educating them on content creation, on the tools they need to use to create content and how much those tools cost. Promotional post. Look at this video. This is a video calling for social media managers for training. Promotional posts. Okay, so that is how you come up with your content strategy, right? Now let's look at let's go back to this document. Look at this content strategy. This is somewhat different from what I've said so far. But if you look at them very well, you would see that they align with those pillars I shared with you. Which is motivational, engaging, blah 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 blah, you know. Storytelling content. This storytelling content, we most, depending on what the content is about, maybe they are telling us story about how a child was unable to sleep, but when they read the storybook to them, they slept. That is inspiring. Storytelling content. This content could, don't worry, this may be a bit like, oh, this is too much, but don't worry, by the time you start getting this thing done, you would better understand them. It could be that maybe the storytelling could be how a client found your page, they bought the book, and then they read the book to their child, and their child started like reading. Educational content. Educational content share information about the different culture featured in the book series. Interactive content. This interactive content is very similar to what's it called? The engaging content. Community engagement. Can you mute your microphone?
She will call you back. She will call you back later.
Are you still with me?
Yes, ma'am, with you, ma'am, with you.
Awesome. So community engagement, this can go by with anything. Okay, I mentioned entertainment, right? But I'm not sure I've show you an entertaining content. Now this is an entertaining content, this particular one. This meant to make people laugh. So let me see, I think there's a comment of somebody laughing. Okay, look at this. No one, absolutely nobody, me at 2 a.m. trying to figure out what type of post I can post to attract new followers. This person laughed. People may not put their comments here, but trust me, people must have laughed when they see this content. Let me see if I have another entertaining content. This. This says, what is going on in my head? These are the things going on. So this is meant to also say, oh, I can relate. Honestly, this is what is going on in my head also. Do you understand? So that is how it works. Okay. Now let's look at other things. Promotional. Then your content strategy must include your goals. That is, at the end of the month, what do I want to see? Do I want to have up to 100 new followers? Do I want to have up to 100 new likes, comments, and all of those things? Okay, so let me show you another strategy. Okay, look at this client. This person is an author. You can see that it's not the same design. People have different ways of getting things done. This was created by somebody else, another social media manager. So your own style, you can decide to say, okay, this is my own style. This is the style I want to follow. Whatever style you decide to follow, make sure that it shows the overall idea. Now, look at this person. It says, the goal and the objective is to increase the author's visibility. Now, these clients already have a social media account. Let me search for the account. Ngozi George. Look at the client. So she already had an actual account, right? But what we did when we did, are you still here?
Yes, ma'am, I'm still with you.
Awesome. So look at this client's account. This is a client in Sugargrowth. Look at what we did for her. Ngozi George. Ngozi, author, Jackma, and relocation tips. So she's an author, but she also shares Jackma or relocation tips. That is why we have its name here. You can see, I am on a journey to helping people navigate their lives in new country. Assistant team lead. Order my book on Amazon. Look at, then there's a link for them to order on Amazon. Now look at the bio. Look at her profile picture. Wear clear, and she's wearing a green, right?
Yes.
Look at her profile. Look at her, what's it called? Her highlight
Highlights.
covers. They are also green. Branding. Branding. When you click on Jackpa tips, you would see that you would see tips on Jackpa. 4 things to know before relocating. Okay, so look at this client. We may not be able to have more because we stopped managing our page like 2 months ago, so she did not follow the branding again. But look at when we're managing our page. One thing you would notice is that, look at this, green, green, green. Okay, when our call ends in 15 minutes, don't worry, I think we can join again with that same link. But if we can't, I'll share a link with you. You can see green, green, green. You can see that, right? Green,
Yes,
green.
ma'am.
Do you understand? So now let's come to our content strategy. Our content strategy says the goal and the objective is to increase the author's visibility. That is what they want. That is what that client wants. Build anticipation around the book launch. The book is yet to be launched when we got this offer. But as of today, the book has already been launched. And then retain a target audience. The people, we have to attract the people who are looking to travel out and they have no idea how it is like to travel out in respect to maybe What's the environment like? What's the idea? All of those things. It says we maintain consistent branding by utilizing high quality visual, appealing images, graphics related to the book's themes, characters, or quotes. We create content that provide valuable insight and truths related to relocation. We share short anecdotes or excerpts from the book. So if you come here, you will see all those things. Okay, there's a part that has short excerpts from the book. Yeah, I think it's somewhere here. I can't start looking for that right now. Okay, so I said all of those things. Now, general content calendar. On Wednesday, this is what they will post. On Thursday, blah blah blah, and that is it. Content strategy. This is content strategy. Let me show you another content strategy. By the way, I can share a copy of all of this with you so that you can always look at them. Okay, let me share a copy with you now. So I'm going to share a copy with you so that you can look at them after the class, maybe when you're creating your own stuff. Okay, content strategy. Let me send another one. Another content strategy right here. So overall idea of content strategy is a plan or strategy that will help you to know what to post on your page. Okay,
Yes.
viewer. All right, so let's look at another content strategy. Let me see if I can lay my hands on another one shortly. Creepy. Let's look at another of these clients. Now, you may not have the perfect strategy at the first attempt. Don't be very scared to make mistakes. In fact, you're allowed to make mistakes, but ensure that you're learning from your mistake. Okay, we'll have to look at all of those things later. Now, look at this one, Creepy. Creepy is a fintech platform, just like Lemify, Tap Send, where you can send money from Nigeria to the US, from US to Nigeria. Now, target audience. So look at this strategy. It is called social media strategy, but trust me, there is also content strategy here. So depending on what you are doing is what you will name your document as, but ensure that whatever name applies to the overall idea of the strategy document. Now, target audience. Prepaid target audience includes individuals in the US and Africa who are seeking easy, secure mobile payment transactions. Social media goals. Remember what I said earlier about goals? Also, when we started working on this client account, they didn't have Instagram accounts. So we had to start from scratch for them. Okay, so it says increase newsletter signups, drive the number of subscribers. Okay, this is a new strategy. There was an actual old one. Okay, enhance engagement, foster engagement with social media content that encourages users to sign up for newsletter. Provide value proposition. So the reason we keep saying newsletter here is because this product is yet to be launched in the market. That is, you can never find Creepay mobile app on any Play or Apple or Google or Apple stores. So we are still creating awareness, but what we want basically is for them. Okay, we want people to sign up to newsletter so that when the mobile app launches, they will get the information in their inbox. Okay, provide value proposition, communicate the value proposition of Prepay newsletter, writing the blah 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 blah. Target audience and content sharing. This may not apply to you. Content pillars. Can you see motivational content? This content will motivate and inspire the target audience. So you have to create that content in line. So what do you think can inspire people who want to send money to the abroad? So we'll talk about how you can actually create put your strategy into an actual content and post. Educational content, industry news, educational content again, engagement content, blah blah blah. Instagram platform strategy, we are posting every day, 5 posts per week. Video we posted on Monday and on Thursday. LinkedIn post, Twitter. Now you can see that this is not the same as the one you saw before. So you would, by the time you're looking at these documents later on, you would see that they have some things in common, which is the overall idea, strategy that will help you to post on the account. So because these are different niches. Okay, now let's look at content calendar. So you know that after you've created your content strategy, the next thing you should do is to create a content calendar. Now let's look at a content calendar. Let's look at this one. Let's look at this one. In this content calendar, there are 3 times posting here because posting are only done 3 times for this particular account, and this is for Sugary Growth. Okay, we have 8 minutes more on this call before it goes off, but don't worry, you can always join back. So you can see Happy New Month. Look at this content calendar. You can see it is split into 4 parts: date, post type, message, and caption. Date, that is the date at which the content will be posted. Post type, is it a video? Is it a graphics? Is it a carousel? Do you know what carousel is?
No.
This is a carousel right here. Multiple posts. Post 1. Sorry, page 1. What's wrong with the network? Okay, let me look for another one. I don't know if it's the network. Okay, so page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. Can you see that? Page 5.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see that? This is carousel. Carousel is when you are posting multiple things at the same time. Let me see. This is a carousel also. So page 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you see that? This is a carousel. Now, graphics. This is a graphics. Let me look for graphics. Let me go to this section. This is the graphics. 1 image, 1 design is a graphics. Okay, this is a graphics. Let me look for another graphics. This is a graphics. Oh no, not this one, of course not. This is a video. This is the graphics. Can you see there is no option to go left or right? You know, that is the graphics. Now this is a real video. This is a reel. Reels are between 1 second and 90 seconds. That is real. Any video that is more than 1 minute 30 seconds is a video on Instagram, so it's called a video. So we'll talk about different platforms later on and their content size, but we are still in that beginning part. Now let's come back to your content calendar. So you can see that this is a content calendar shaped into 4. So how do you do this? Here's how to create a content calendar. The date, Monday, 1st of July 2024. The post type is graphics. The message that will be on the graphics is Happy New Month. The caption is the Sugary Growth welcomes blah 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 blah, and the hashtag in another column. And if you want to create something like this, what you would do is to go to insert, table, and choose the number of, why is it not showing? I don't know why it's blank, but you can see that we have 4 rows. So let's see, look at it. So you can put your date here, date, post type, message. I hope you saw how I just created that content calendar now. Caption.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
So we have too many here. We can always just delete this, delete column. Okay, and then you put the date you want to post here. So you have to develop this for yourself also. The post type, do you want to post? So in your strategy, your content strategy, you must have already known that. Do you want to post 3 times a week? I'm going to share another content calendar with you, one that has 2 times, two like 10 posts a week, another one with like 5 posts a week, another one with just 3 posts a week. Okay, so that you understand. So this is the overall idea of content calendar. Okay, so your content, you cannot create a content calendar without a content strategy. So you must have a content strategy first before you have a content calendar. Okay, so the next time we are posting is Thursday, then the final time is Friday. Okay, so you can see this has carousel. That means you have multiple images: image 1, image 2, image 3, blah blah blah. So I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to show you another content strategy. Sorry, content calendar, I mean to say. In 3 minutes this call is going to go off, but don't worry, I'm going to reach out. Content calendar. Okay, let me share another one with you. So let's look at another content calendar. Let's look at this one. This particular content calendar has up to 10 posts in a week. Up to 10 posts in a week. But you will see that they have something in common. They have, this one has sign number, which is going to be like that's the first post. But the main thing here is the dates. You can also have the time. That other one does not have time. Okay, but this one has time. So if your clients, if your audience are online at 9 o'clock, then you have to make your post at 9. We'll also look at that later. The timing, we're going to look at the timing later by the time we get to the part where you develop your content. So the message, this is what will be on the graphics, and then this is the caption that you're going to add to your caption part. So I'm also going to share this with you. Editor, content calendar. Awesome. So let me show you another content calendar that has only 5 posts a day. Let's see. Do we have any other one here? Let's look at this one. I think this should have 5 posts a day. Yeah, this should have 5 posts in a week. Awesome. Okay, so there is a Sunday here because the Sunday is an internationally celebrated day, so you have to add that. So I'm going to also share this with you. So I just need you to understand the overall idea and request something for yourself. Okay, we have 1 minute more before this call ends. All right, so that is that for content calendar. Okay, so by the time we come back here for next week, we are going to look at how you can start creating content and how